Hey there guys, I'm Lorentzen, the FPV guy, and this week I'm back at CES 2018. Is it 2018 already?
Already.
I know.
Can you believe it?
And it seems like that every year the ritual is to go and talk to the Ryan about the new Yuneec products.
I missed you last year, you know. I wasn't able to, have an interview with you, so
yeah.
Glad I'm here. Wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about our newest products that we have going on this year. We're actually launching a few products here at CES.
Let's pick it up.
This is now our Typhoon H Plus. It's an all-new Typhoon H that has a new 1-inch camera now. So it can shoot up to 20 megapixel stills, as well as record video at up to 100 megabits per second. So that means we can record 4K video at 60 frames per second.
Okay, and can you also use those 100 megabits per second for, say, at 24 frames per second?
So yes, you can. So we have...
So we get a really high quality file.
Exactly. We have options to all your different frames per second, just like we always have. What's great about the E90 or the C23 is what we're calling this model here, is the ability to have a fully unlocked processor. So now we can up our ISOs as far as the processor will allow us.
Okay. Most camera people, of course, are going to want to run a fairly low ISO.
Right, right. Low or high, yeah.
But for surveying or 3D modeling, a high ISO might be interesting. Correct.
So what's the difference between this one and our older version is the whole inside is completely different. We are now using FOC ESCs. It's much more efficient now. We could get up to 30-minute flight times.
Oh.
30 minutes, yes.
30 minutes is a serious number because that's kind of, 20 was the golden target, now 30 is it.
As you see more and more technology come across, FOC was unheard of a couple years ago, unless you were really into...
What is FOC?
So FOC is a new style of programming the way the motor talks to the speed controller. Back in the day, we used to wait for like the resistance of the motor to tell where the motor windings were. Okay. Now it's much different. They're actually talking back and forth digitally in a sense, and being able to control the motors and their spinning much more efficiently. On top of that, the motors have been completely changed over as well. So they're a bigger motor. They have a lot more power. The pitch of the propellers have been changed to provide more lift and more efficiency. We're actually seeing this airframe and this configuration be able to handle 30-mile-per-hour winds without a problem.
And it was already very stable.
It was to begin with, yes, and that's why we went with the same proven type of frame. The inside is completely different. We're now running a PX4 style flight controller that's been configured to Yuneec standards, and now we could have more memory for more flight modes. You'll still get all your current flight modes like Journey and Orbit and things of that nature, but now it does it a lot more efficient and as well as reliable.
And it's probably worth mentioning, one of the things that's unique about the Yuneec products is they come with a screen where you can actually see what you're doing.
Right. So what's different about this one, this is actually a redesigned ST16 as well. It's what we call the ST16S. The screen has been moved out further, so now it's a little brighter to your eyes. It also is a lot more accurate as far as your touching goes. So touch sensitivity. On top of that, we've added a USB port. So say you guys are out on the field and you're using mobile data. Maybe you're trying to stream something. You can charge your phone right off the ST16S now. Okay. On top of that, you get the HDMI out. And what's even the best is a swappable battery. So instead of having to
when you're getting
unplug it
in the old version, it took forever to charge the bloody thing.
Right. So now you can just swap a battery out and continue on flying. So
I have, of course, the other guys. I have a 4 Pro.
Okay.
Where are we at money-wise?
Money-wise, we're starting at $14.99.
So the same type of camera. You have a 6-motor platform. Right. And I tested that a couple of years ago. I stuck a light pole in the props, and
I did see that.
Well, there you have it, guys. We completely knocked the propeller off. The aircraft's still flying. I kind of felt bad about doing it, but it kept flying.
Yes, and so that's a big advantage when it comes to having something that's going to be reliable. Maybe you're not the best pilot. I know I'm not the best pilot, and you know,
I've crashed stuff.
Even hitting a little palm tree or something like that, you know, you're trying to get really cool footage, and a lot of times you're flying really close to something.
Yep.
And so if you hit a palm tree with a quad, it goes down. With a hex, you can continue flying. Save your cameras, save your footage, land.
Now it is a rougher flight. I mean, it's not like you don't notice it.
Right.
You definitely
gonna
know
notice
it, but it means you know shit happened, and now you're able to land and put a fresh prop on there.
Right.
And say, that was close.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So that's a huge feature, and it does work. I tested it. So this one is going to be shipping?
We're looking in around June, I believe, for this guy.
June-ish, and it also is available with the Intel style.
So yes, Intel Realsense is still big. We actually improved our Intel Realsense technology on this, and we've increased the ability or the optical flow camera, the width, and now it's holding extremely better indoors. So that's a big advantage over this new firmware that we're using.
And I really experimented with this before. I pushed it. What happens with the H is it turns around, so the camera looks at me, but the sensor looks where you're going when you're pushing it with the controller. And I walked it into a tree, it just stops for the tree, goes up over the tree, and meet me on the other side of the tree.
Yeah,
so that is working. It
is working extremely well. I mean, like I said, we've had a proven platform for quite a while. It's only getting better. With this PX4 platform flight controller.
What is the sense for that? What's the price point for that?
So we're about $17.99 with the Intel Realsense.
Okay, so $14.99, which is kind of a Pro 4 or 4 Pro.
Yes.
And with the Realsense, you get $17.99.
Right, $17.99. You get, some additional extras. We haven't quite figured out what we're going to be including in our pack, but it's usually probably a battery or something.
So the salespeople is going to toss some goodies in when you spend more money. And honestly, the Realsense is well worth it. So we're going to be looking at other things here at CES today, and we also have more Yuneec products coming up. So stay tuned and make sure you click subscribe up in the corner, and we'll be back with more of your cool toys.
Thanks, Bo.
Thank you, sir.